In every relationship, there comes a point when conflict uh, bears its head. It's just a natural part of human relationships, how we solve problems, how we agree to disagree, or how we disagree. Can we do that in a way that edifies the relationship, that builds up the relationship? Or does conflict bring about the worst aspects of you and your partner? So that's basically what we're going to be unpacking today, the difference between healthy conflict and unhealthy conflict in relationships. So before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Marissa Senya, and I am a freedom coach. I help women who are feeling trapped or stuck in unhealthy relationship dynamics by providing support and resources so that they can gain the clarity, confidence, and community that they need in order to make a peaceful exit from relationship dynamics that no longer serve them. So, in this video, I want to unpack the difference between healthy conflict and unhealthy conflict in relationships. So, as I mentioned earlier, conflict is a natural part of the human experience. We can even be at odds with ourselves. So, of course, we're going to be at odds with a person that we are in a relationship with, be it romantic, friendship, or professional or communal. Whatever exchange that we're doing life with other people, conflict will come up. And so it is what it is. Let's get into how we can discern whether this is a healthy type of situation to be in a conflict scenario or a not so healthy one. Well, in a healthy conflict scenario, you're on the same team. You are approaching the issue with the goal of overcoming the problem together, right? It's you and your partner against the problem. You guys are on the same team. So the goal in your conflict, you can disagree, but ultimately you are seeking to understand so that there's clarity and ultimately you will get to some point of a resolution. That's healthy conflict. It's a part of relationships because we will disagree, we need to approach issues and talk about them in a respectful manner. But when you are in a relationship, you can fight fairly when you understand that you are on the same team. So to counter that in an unhealthy relationship dynamic, when it comes to conflict, it is me versus you. Winner take all mentality. You aren't seeking to understand. In the conflict, you're noticing that there has to be a winner. Somebody has to be right. And it's not necessarily about making sure that we understand one another. It's just, well, I said this and I was right and you were wrong. And that is the crux of the conflict, which would mean that there's a chance that it will repeat itself over and over again, because those types of dynamics, it's really difficult to come to a meaningful solution if both or one party is just seeking to be right instead of seeking understanding. So another example of healthy conflict versus an unhealthy one is if there's genuine remorse, when words are spoken or expressed that may hurt the other person. Then when there's genuine remorse, it's no longer about trying to talk over each other or talk about the problem. It's pausing and realizing, whoa, wait a minute, something has been said. I've hurt my partner's feelings, I've crossed a line, and that was definitely not my intention. I got carried away. My emotions got the best of me, and this is going down a road that I no longer intended it for it to go. And with healthy remorse, there is a seeking to repair. There is a seeking to fix the situation so that it doesn't happen again. That I don't get to that point where I'm saying this thing, or I have some sort of mechanism that I've developed to pause and reflect appropriately, so that I'm not lashing out at my partner when I feel misunderstood or I'm not feeling heard. Okay, but in an unhealthy relationship cycle, when there's conflict, well, there's actually, not only there isn't there remorse, but there's actually satisfaction when harmful words are expressed that causes pain. And so if somebody has a winner-take-all mentality, what you might see in a conflict scenario, or you may have experienced in conflict with this individual, or if you've been that individual, you're trying to find the ways to get that other person and to get them to be quiet and to get them to yield to your point of view and to give in. So it's really just you're seeking to dominate, to be right, and nothing else, and nothing else matters, hence the winner-take-all approach. And with that, the likelihood of saying something harmful and hurting your partner's feelings aren't only high, it's basically a given that it's going to happen. And when it's an unhealthy dynamic, there actually is satisfaction. That person or both individuals may take joy or glee or some sort of relief that they said something to jab and hurt the other person's feelings, hit them below the belt, so to speak. And obviously that isn't healthy, because now we know not only are you not on the same page, but now you're actively fighting to in a way that harms the other person. Okay, and when we talk about a solution, previously I mentioned in a healthy dynamic, when harmful words are expressed, there is a rush to repair. There is a rush to try to gain a healthy resolution so that this doesn't happen again. But in a toxic or harmful dynamic, there is no rush. There's no rush. It could take days, it could take weeks for things to cool off by one or both parties in that environment. And there could even be things like methods like the silent treatment that would be employed to keep the other person away, or to punish the other person for disagreeing with them in the first place. And so then there's an atmosphere of fear that's created because one person doesn't want to approach the other, and the goal is just to kind of to keep things cool and not cause more conflict. So ultimately, in that environment, there is no resolution. It's just kind of putting the problem on a shelf, and it will come out on another day, at another time, triggered by some other issue that brings it all up again. So therein lies the difference with healthy and unhealthy conflict. And again, with relationships, conflicts are natural. They're part of it. But it's how you do it. It's how you discuss. It's how you disagree. Are you in a situation where you still feel seen, heard, respected by your partner? Or are you in a dynamic where you are experiencing the complete opposite, and any disagreement leaves you feeling dejected, feeling despondent, despair, all these D words, as a result of having a disagreement or a difference of opinion with your partner? So I hope some of these, just want to highlight these few aspects to look at to make sure that you understand the difference between healthy and unhealthy conflicts. Conflicts will come, that's life, but we have to navigate those things in a way where we're still being respectful of the other person, and we are also still being respected. in that relationship. All right, so if that content resonated with you, make sure that you are liking and subscribing to this channel, and you are sharing it with somebody who you think would benefit from this content as well. Until next time, please keep well.